I want to start today with a number that I think will surprise you. The global egg industry is worth over $230 billion per year, $230 billion, and a significant portion of that revenue comes from marketing eggs as the essential, irreplaceable protein source for seniors, the perfect protein, the gold standard of muscle nutrition. For decades, that message has been repeated so consistently, across so many platforms, by so many voices, that most people over 60 simply accept it as established fact. Eggs are what you eat for breakfast if you care about your muscles. Eggs are what keep you strong. Eggs are what your doctor probably told you to eat more of. I am Dr. James, and today at Senior Vitality Secrets, I want to share something that the $230 billion egg industry would very much prefer you did not know. Eggs are not the cheapest source of protein. They are not the most nutritionally complete source of protein for seniors specifically. And they are not the most effective food for fighting the muscle loss that begins after 60, and that represents one of the most serious and underaddressed health threats facing people in this age group. There are foods sitting on grocery store shelves right now, some of them on the bottom shelf where the least expensive items are stocked, that deliver 2, 3, sometimes 4 times the protein of eggs for a fraction of the cost. And some of these foods do not just provide protein, they deliver collagen for joint repair, omega-3 fatty acids for inflammation reduction and muscle cell repair, magnesium for muscle contraction and nerve function, vitamin D for bone integrity and immune regulation, nutrients that eggs simply cannot provide in meaningful quantities. This is why the food industry does not promote them. There is no profit margin in telling you to spend 20 cents on lentils when they can sell you a dozen eggs for $3. There is no advertising budget behind sardines. There is no marketing campaign for oats or chickpeas or cottage cheese. But there is science, and today I am going to share it with you. We are going through 6 foods, ranked from 6th to 1st, that build muscle more effectively and more affordably than eggs. By the time we reach number 1, I think you will understand why this particular food has been buried under decades of food industry advertising, and why adding it to your weekly routine could genuinely change the trajectory of your physical strength and independence in the years ahead. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge something important. Eggs are a good food. I am not telling you to stop eating them. They provide real nutritional value, and they have a legitimate place in a healthy diet. What I am telling you is that relying on eggs alone, treating them as the primary or exclusive muscle food in your diet, means missing out on a broader and more powerful nutritional strategy, one that costs less, delivers more, and is specifically well suited to the physiological needs of the body after 60. Let us begin. Number 6. Cottage cheese. Protein content, 11 grams per 100 grams. Average cost, 40 to 60 cents per 100 grams. Cottage cheese is one of the most underrated foods in the context of senior nutrition. It receives very little attention compared to eggs, to protein powders, to the heavily marketed supplements that fill the shelves of health food stores. And yet, from a practical standpoint, for someone over 60 trying to preserve and rebuild muscle mass, cottage cheese has several advantages that eggs simply cannot match. Let me start with the protein itself, because not all protein works the same way in the body. The protein in eggs is primarily whey protein in the whites and various proteins in the yolk. These are absorbed relatively quickly. When you eat eggs, amino acids enter the bloodstream within a couple of hours, and then the supply begins to diminish. Cottage cheese contains a very different type of protein called casein. Casein is a slow-digesting protein. When you consume it, it forms a gel-like structure in your stomach that your digestive enzymes must work through gradually. The result is that amino acids are released into the bloodstream slowly and steadily over a period of several hours, sometimes as many as 7 or 8 hours. This prolonged amino acid release is what researchers call a slow-digesting or sustained-release protein profile. For seniors specifically, this matters enormously. After age 60, the body undergoes a transition in how it processes muscle protein. During a period of overnight fasting, the muscles are in a net breakdown state. They are consuming their own protein stores to supply amino acids for other biological functions. The first meal of the morning needs to reverse that breakdown and shift the muscles back into a net synthesis state, building rather than breaking down. A quick-digesting protein like egg white produces a rapid amino acid surge that is effective but brief. A slow-digesting protein like casein from cottage cheese provides a sustained supply of amino acids that keeps the muscle synthesis response active for hours rather than minutes. A 2012 study published in the British Journal of Nutrition examined this directly. Older adults who consumed casein-rich protein sources had 25% greater muscle protein synthesis compared to those who did not, specifically during the overnight and early morning period. 25% greater muscle-building response from the same dietary habit, simply by choosing a protein source that works more slowly and more sustainably. For seniors who are concerned about muscle loss, and after 60 there is genuinely good reason to be concerned. The preservation of muscle mass over the course of each day and each night depends significantly on maintaining a consistent supply of amino acids rather than experiencing sharp peaks followed by extended deficits. Cottage cheese provides exactly that profile. Beyond the protein, cottage cheese delivers calcium for bone health, phosphorus, which works alongside calcium in bone mineralization, and a range of B vitamins that support energy metabolism and nervous system function. It is calorie moderate, relatively low in fat, depending on the variety chosen, and easy to digest for most people. The cost advantage over eggs is real and meaningful. At 40 to 60 cents per 100 grams of cottage cheese, you are getting 11 grams of protein. A single egg, at approximately 20 cents, provides 7 grams of protein, which works out to close to $3 per 100 grams of protein when you do the calculation. Cottage cheese is substantially more cost-effective as a protein source, which matters significantly for seniors living on fixed incomes. From a practical standpoint, cottage cheese is one of the most versatile foods in this category. It can be eaten simply on its own for those who enjoy its mild flavor. It pairs naturally with fresh or frozen fruit, adding natural sweetness and additional vitamins. It spreads on whole grain toast as a high-protein alternative to butter or cream cheese. It blends smoothly into smoothies where it adds protein and creaminess without a strong dairy flavor. It can be mixed with herbs and used as a savory spread. The adaptability of cottage cheese means that adding it to your routine does not require significant changes to your eating patterns. It fits into what you are already doing. Number 5. Oats. Protein content, 17 grams per 100 grams. Average cost, 15 to 20 cents per 100 grams. Oats are routinely dismissed as simply a carbohydrate food, a bowl of morning starch that provides energy but little else of nutritional significance. This perception is both common and significantly wrong, particularly when it comes to the nutritional needs of seniors. 100 grams of dry oats contains 17 grams of protein. That is more protein than an equivalent weight of eggs. And while the amino acid profile of oat protein is not identical to that of complete animal proteins, oats provide a meaningful and substantive protein contribution that most people are not accounting for when they dismiss them as simply a carbohydrate. But the protein is genuinely only the beginning of what makes oats exceptional for seniors. The broader nutritional package that comes with oats is one of the most comprehensive and well-researched of any affordable food. Iron is present in meaningful quantities in oats, and iron is essential for the production and function of red blood cells, which are the vehicles that carry oxygen from your lungs to every tissue in your body, including your muscles. When iron is insufficient, muscles are deprived of oxygen even when the circulatory system is otherwise functioning well. Fatigue, weakness, reduced exercise tolerance, and difficulty recovering from physical activity are all associated with inadequate iron intake. Many seniors, particularly women over 60, have iron levels that are lower than optimal, and dietary iron from whole foods like oats provides a gentle and sustainable way to maintain adequate stores. Magnesium is another critical mineral present in oats. Magnesium plays a direct role in muscle contraction and relaxation, in nerve signal transmission, and in the production of adenosine triphosphate, which is the fundamental energy currency of every cell in your body. Without adequate magnesium, muscles cramp more easily, fatigue more quickly, and recover more slowly. Many seniors are deficient in magnesium without knowing it, and oats represent one of the most accessible and affordable dietary sources. Zinc, which we discussed in a previous video in the context of immune function, hormone regulation, and wound healing, is present in oats as well. And the soluble fiber in oats, specifically a compound called beta-glucan, deserves particular attention because its effects extend well beyond digestion. Beta-glucan is a viscous soluble fiber that forms a gel in the digestive tract when it contacts water. This gel slows the digestion and absorption of carbohydrates, producing a gradual and sustained release of glucose into the bloodstream rather than a sharp spike. For seniors managing blood sugar, this effect is directly beneficial. Stable blood sugar means stable energy throughout the morning, without the sharp rise and subsequent crash that refined carbohydrate breakfasts tend to produce. But beta-glucan does something else that is particularly relevant to muscle health. It improves cardiovascular function. It reduces LDL cholesterol levels through a mechanism involving the binding of bile acids in the digestive tract, and it improves circulation by supporting the health and flexibility of blood vessel walls. Better circulation means that the oxygen and nutrients carried by the blood, including the amino acids that muscles need for protein synthesis, are delivered more efficiently to muscle tissue. Protein from any source cannot build muscle if it cannot reach the muscle cells effectively. A 2015 study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health and Aging followed seniors who consumed higher intakes of whole grains, including oats. Those participants had measurably better muscle function and a 15% lower risk of frailty compared to seniors who rarely ate whole grains. The researchers attributed this to the combination of protein, micronutrients, and the circulation-supporting effects of beta-glucan working together over time. The cost of oats makes them almost uniquely accessible. At 15 to 20 cents per 100 grams, oats are among the least expensive foods in any grocery store. The protein they provide at that price point is extraordinary value compared to eggs, and the broader nutritional package, the minerals, the fiber, the circulation support, is something eggs cannot replicate at any price. Overnight oats prepared the night before provide a zero-effort breakfast that is ready the moment you wake up. Steel-cut oats cooked slowly provide a heartier, more filling texture. Oats can be combined with nuts and seeds for additional protein and healthy fats. They can be blended into smoothies. They can be used as a base for savory bowls with eggs and vegetables for those who want the combined benefit of both foods. Number 4. Chickpeas. Protein content: 19 grams per 100 grams canned. Average cost: 25 cents per 100 grams. Chickpeas are one of the oldest cultivated foods in human history. They have been a dietary staple across the Middle East, the Mediterranean, and South Asia for thousands of years. And in those populations where they are consumed regularly as a dietary foundation, rates of frailty, muscle weakness, and age-related physical decline tend to be substantially lower than in populations eating predominantly processed, refined food diets. This is not a coincidence. 19 grams of protein per 100 grams of canned chickpeas at a cost of approximately 25 cents represents exceptional protein value by any measure of comparison. But as with oats and cottage cheese, the protein itself is only part of the story. Chickpeas contain potassium, which is essential for muscle contraction and for regulating the fluid balance within cells that affects how efficiently muscles can generate force. They contain magnesium, which we have already discussed in the context of muscle function and energy production. They contain iron for oxygen delivery. And they contain fiber that supports digestive health, stabilizes blood sugar, and feeds the beneficial gut bacteria, whose activities influence immune function, inflammatory tone, and even mood. But there is a specific amino acid in chickpeas that makes them particularly valuable for seniors, and that is lysine. Lysine is one of the 9 essential amino acids, meaning it is one that your body cannot synthesize and must obtain from food. It is an essential component of collagen, the structural protein that gives strength and integrity to tendons, ligaments, cartilage, skin, and bone matrix. Without adequate lysine, collagen synthesis is impaired, and the connective tissues that hold your musculoskeletal system together become progressively more fragile. Eggs are relatively low in lysine compared to their overall protein content. Many seniors who eat primarily eggs as their protein source may be getting adequate overall protein intake, while still falling short on this specific amino acid. Chickpeas provide lysine in meaningful quantities, making them a genuinely complementary addition to an egg-based diet or an effective standalone protein source for those eating less meat. A 2016 review published in the Journal of Nutrition examined the relationship between legume consumption and muscle health in older adults. It found that higher legume intake, including chickpeas, was associated with greater muscle strength and lower frailty scores across multiple studies. The researchers noted that the combination of lysine, iron, magnesium, and fiber in legumes produced a synergistic effect on muscle function that exceeded what would be expected from any single nutrient alone. For seniors with dental challenges, chewing difficulties, or reduced appetite, chickpeas in the form of hummus are particularly valuable. Hummus is simply blended chickpeas with olive oil, lemon, and tahini, and it provides the full nutritional benefit of chickpeas in a smooth, easily consumed form. A generous portion of hummus spread on whole grain bread, served alongside vegetables for dipping, or stirred into soup, provides substantial protein, fiber, and micronutrients with virtually no effort required in preparation. Canned chickpeas require only rinsing before use. They can be added cold to salads, warmed in soups and stews, roasted with olive oil and spices for a crunchy snack, mashed into patties, or blended into hummus. The versatility of chickpeas means they can be incorporated into virtually any meal at any time of day, making it easy to build them into a consistent dietary habit. At 25 cents per 100 grams, chickpeas are one of the most affordable high-protein foods available anywhere. For seniors managing grocery budgets carefully, they represent a way to substantially increase protein intake and nutritional density without meaningfully increasing food expenditure. Number 3. Peanut butter. Protein content, 22 grams per 100 grams. Average cost, 50 cents to $1 per 100 grams. Peanut butter occupies a fascinating position in nutritional discussions. It is deeply familiar, universally available, relatively inexpensive, and yet it is often overlooked as a serious nutritional tool for seniors because of its association with childhood sandwiches and its relatively high calorie density. That calorie density, which is sometimes cited as a reason for seniors to be cautious about peanut butter, is actually one of its most valuable features for many people in this age group. After 60, appetite often decreases. Many seniors find that they are simply not hungry enough to consume adequate calories and protein through lean meats and vegetables alone. A food that is calorically dense, nutrient-rich, and appealing to eat in small quantities is exactly what is needed to meet nutritional requirements without requiring large meal volumes. 22 grams of protein per 100 grams of peanut butter positions it above eggs, above cottage cheese, and above chickpeas in raw protein content. The protein in peanut butter includes meaningful quantities of arginine, an amino acid that serves as the biological precursor to nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule that causes blood vessel walls to relax and dilate. When blood vessels are dilated, they offer less resistance to blood flow, blood pressure decreases, and the delivery of oxygen and nutrients to tissues throughout the body improves. And for muscles specifically, improved circulation means that amino acids, glucose, and oxygen reach the muscle fibers more efficiently, supporting both performance and recovery. This is a mechanism that eggs cannot provide. Eggs do not contain meaningful quantities of arginine. Peanut butter is one of the richest affordable dietary sources. A 2017 study published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who regularly consume nuts and nut-based foods like peanut butter had a 35% lower risk of frailty compared to those who ate them infrequently. The researchers attributed this to the combination of arginine-derived circulation benefits, the anti-inflammatory effects of the healthy fats in peanut butter, and the vitamin E content, which protects cell membranes from oxidative damage. The healthy fats in peanut butter deserve specific mention. Peanut butter contains predominantly monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, the same categories of fat found in olive oil and avocados that are associated with cardiovascular protection and reduce systemic inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the primary biological drivers of sarcopenia, the age-related muscle loss that progressively impairs physical function after 60. Dietary strategies that reduce inflammation therefore support muscle preservation, even independent of their direct protein contribution. Magnesium is present in significant quantities in peanut butter, contributing to the muscle contraction and energy production benefits we have discussed throughout this video. Potassium supports cellular fluid balance and muscle function, and vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant, helps protect the mitochondria within muscle cells from oxidative damage, which is particularly relevant given that mitochondrial function declines with age, and that mitochondrial health is closely linked to muscle strength and exercise capacity. From a practical standpoint, peanut butter is one of the most convenient high-protein foods available. It requires no preparation, no refrigeration, has a long shelf life, and can be added to virtually any meal or snack. Spread on whole grain toast, it provides a complete and filling breakfast that delivers protein, healthy fats, and sustained energy. Stirred into oatmeal, it enriches the protein content of an already nutritious breakfast and adds a depth of flavor. Blended into a smoothie with banana and milk, it creates a calorically and nutritionally substantial meal replacement option for seniors with reduced appetite. Eaten directly from the spoon, it provides a quick protein boost at any time of day. For seniors on tight budgets, a standard jar of natural peanut butter provides multiple weeks of daily servings at a cost that is a small fraction of the equivalent protein from meat or supplement powders. The cost effectiveness, combined with the nutritional breadth and the practical convenience, makes peanut butter one of the most genuinely valuable foods in this category. One note on selection: natural peanut butter, which contains only peanuts and sometimes a small amount of salt, is preferable to the highly processed commercial varieties that contain added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and various additives. The natural varieties sometimes require stirring to reincorporate the separated oil, but this is a minor inconvenience for a meaningfully better nutritional product. Number 2. Lentils. Protein content, 25 grams per 100 grams dried. Average cost, 20 to 25 cents per 100 grams. Lentils have been a dietary foundation for human populations around the world for approximately 13,000 years. They appear in the archaeological record of ancient Middle Eastern civilizations. They are central to traditional diets across South Asia, the Mediterranean, Africa, and the Americas. And wherever they form a significant part of the dietary pattern, the populations eating them tend to demonstrate markedly better health outcomes in aging compared to those eating primarily processed foods and refined grains. 25 grams of protein per 100 grams of dried lentils, at a cost of 20 to 25 cents per 100 grams. Let that calculation settle for a moment. This is arguably the best protein per penny ratio of any food you can purchase in a standard grocery store. And the protein in lentils is not simply bulk protein. It contains leucine in meaningful quantities, and leucine is the specific amino acid that has been identified in research as the primary trigger for muscle protein synthesis. Your muscles do not simply build themselves in response to the presence of any amino acid. The muscle protein synthesis process is initiated specifically by leucine, which acts as a molecular signal telling the muscle cell that sufficient amino acids are available to justify building new protein. When leucine levels in the bloodstream reach a threshold level following a meal, a cascade of cellular signaling events is activated that results in muscle protein synthesis. Below that threshold, the signal is insufficient regardless of how much total protein has been consumed. Eggs contain leucine, but lentils provide it in quantities that are competitive with animal proteins, particularly when consumed in the portion and sizes that their low cost makes entirely practical. Eating a substantial serving of lentils at a cost of 50 cents provides an amino acid profile, including leucine, that activates muscle protein synthesis effectively. But lentils also provide iron in quantities that exceed most plant foods, and that rival many animal foods. And the form of iron in lentils, while non-heme iron, which is absorbed less efficiently than heme iron from meat, is absorbed significantly more effectively when consumed alongside vitamin C. Containing foods, a simple pairing that can be achieved by adding tomatoes, bell peppers, or lemon juice to a lentil dish. Iron is essential not just for blood cell production, but for the function of the mitochondria within muscle cells, where energy production occurs. Iron is a component of the enzymes involved in cellular respiration. Without adequate iron, muscle cells cannot generate energy efficiently, which translates directly to fatigue, weakness, and reduced exercise tolerance. Magnesium and potassium from lentils contribute to the mineral environment that muscle function depends on. Folate, A, B vitamin present in significant quantities in lentils, support cell division and DNA synthesis, which are essential for the tissue repair and regeneration processes that allow muscles to adapt and strengthen in response to use. A 2019 study published in the journal Nutrients followed seniors and measured their legume consumption alongside markers of physical function and frailty. Those who ate legumes, including lentils, 4 or more times per week had a 22% lower risk of frailty and significantly better scores on physical performance assessments compared to those who ate legumes rarely. The researchers noted that the combination of leucine, iron, and magnesium in legumes created a nutritional environment that supported muscle function in multiple complementary ways simultaneously. Lentils are among the most culinarily versatile foods available. They require no soaking, unlike many other legumes, and cook to tenderness in approximately 20 to 30 minutes, making them relatively quick to prepare compared to dried beans. They can be made into soups and stews that are deeply satisfying and that reheat well for multiple meals from a single preparation. They can be cooked with aromatic vegetables, spices, and herbs to create dishes of genuine complexity and pleasure. They can be pureed into dole or used as a base for plant-based patties. They can be sprouted and eaten raw in salads for those who prefer not to cook them. For seniors concerned about digestive tolerance of legumes, lentils are generally among the most digestible options in this category, and rinsing canned lentils thoroughly before use reduces the oligosaccharide content that can cause digestive discomfort in some people. At 20 to 25 cents per 100 grams, lentils represent an extraordinary nutritional investment. For seniors managing grocery budgets carefully, lentils allow substantial, high-quality protein intake, alongside exceptional mineral density, at a cost that is difficult to match by any other food. The bigger picture. Let me bring everything together, because there is a broader and more important point than simply a list of 6 foods. The narrative that eggs are the essential, irreplaceable protein source for seniors has served the interests of a $230 billion industry very well. It has been repeated so consistently and so authoritatively that most people have never questioned it, never looked at the alternatives, never calculated the protein per penny ratios, never asked what else their body might need that eggs cannot provide. The 6 foods we discussed today, cottage cheese, oats, chickpeas, peanut butter, lentils, and sardines, do not represent an anti-egg position. They represent the broader nutritional strategy that science actually supports for building and preserving muscle after 60, a strategy that addresses protein quantity, protein quality, and amino acid completeness, collagen building blocks for joint and connective tissue health, omega-3 fatty acids for inflammation, reduction in muscle anabolic sensitivity, iron and magnesium for energy production and muscle function, calcium and vitamin D for bone integrity, and fiber for digestive and circulatory health. Eggs provide protein. These 6 foods provide all of that. You do not have to choose between them. The most effective approach is to use all of these foods as part of a varied dietary pattern that meets the comprehensive nutritional needs of your body after 60. Add sardines to your weekly rotation. Incorporate cottage cheese into your breakfast. Build a habit around a morning bowl of oats. Keep chickpeas in the pantry for soups, salads, and hummus. Use peanut butter as a convenient daily protein supplement. Make lentil soup a regular part of your weekly meal planning. None of these changes require significant financial investment. Collectively, they represent one of the most cost-effective nutritional strategies available for addressing sarcopenia, the muscle loss that is one of the most consequential and most under-addressed health challenges of aging. Your muscles are not a lost cause after 60. They respond to the right inputs at any age. The research is clear on this. The question is simply whether you are providing those inputs consistently enough to support preservation and rebuilding rather than continuing decline. These 6 foods provide those inputs at prices that are accessible to virtually anyone, at a level of culinary flexibility that can fit into almost any dietary preference or cooking routine, with a nutritional depth that the most expensive supplement products cannot replicate. At Senior Vitality Secrets, our commitment to you is simple and unwavering. We will always bring you health information that is grounded in real science, honestly presented, and genuinely practical for your daily life, not filtered through commercial interests, not shaped by what is profitable to promote. Just the truth about what decades of nutritional research actually shows. You deserve that. You have always deserved that. If today's video gave you something valuable, please share it with someone in your life who is dealing with muscle weakness, fatigue, or the fear of physical decline. The people who profit from keeping you buying expensive products will not share this information for you. Subscribe to Senior Vitality Secrets so you never miss a new video, and leave a comment below. Tell me which of these 6 foods you are going to add to your routine first. Tell me about your current breakfast habits and what prompted you to watch today. I read every comment, and your experiences genuinely shape the content we create next. In our next video, we are going to explore something equally important and equally under-addressed: the specific types of resistance training that are most effective for rebuilding muscle after 60, why the conventional advice of light weights and high repetitions may actually be holding you back, and the evidence-based approach that produces the fastest and most lasting results for people in this age group. Until then, eat well, eat affordably, and remember that rebuilding your strength after 60 is not a matter of expensive interventions. It is a matter of smart, consistent choices that your body can actually use. I am Dr. James. This is Senior Vitality Secrets, and I will see you in the next video.